Hello friends, welcome to Squared Plans. I'm Stephanie and today we're going to be setting up our fall bucket list items for the season. And I've got these brush pens and regular pens and pencil ready to go, as well as this sheet I am giving away for free. I'll talk about more in a minute. I have this scrapbook paper pad that I'll be pulling for the background, and these sticker books which I'll pull from. So I made a summer bucket list in this sun shape that I put in my monthly layout, and I really loved it. So we're going to do one here for fall. I actually went ahead and made bucket list items as a free printable that I'm giving away. So you guys can download that. Just check the description of this video and you can get your own copy of these bucket list items to print at home and then make your own bucket list from these. They're very similar. I did just something similar to my holiday bucket list items that I gave away last year. Format's very similar if you'd like to have that continuity between your different lists, which I really do like. I also want to mention that I printed this at 75%. I had a scrap piece of clear label paper that I wanted to use, and it had those lines already on it. The printable does not have lines, straight lines like you saw there, but I knew that I could probably get it to fit into that already pre-printed lined label sheet. So long story short, I was just trying to use up some scraps and it worked out perfectly at 75%. So these are smaller than the ones that you get on my printable. If you want to print them smaller, print them at 75% if you want to match up basically what I'm doing here. So I just want to put that out there for you. You'll need to scale it down because it is built at letter size. While I was busy talking, I went ahead and grabbed a Pyrex bowl that I had in my stash for a nice big circle. The circle's approximately 7 inches around, or the diameter is 7 inches. I just used that to draw onto the scrapbook paper that I pulled from that big pad, just as a guideline for what I'm going to do here with these leaf stickers from Pliny Things sticker book. I really love these leaves. This is one of the prettiest leaves I've seen in sticker form, especially for fall. So I figure what better way to get a lot of use out of them this season than to put them here on this fall bucket list that I'll be using for all 3 months of the season. So I'm just kind of, like I said, using that circle pencil line as a guideline and am laying in the stickers sort of in a wreath fashion. I put down some wax paper so that I could play around with the stickers first before I commit, and then it would give me a chance to erase that pencil mark. So I'm just doing that process now, trying to mix up the colors so they're not too brown in one spot or too orange in another spot, so that there's a nice variation. Same with the leaf style. There is a lot of more solid leaves near the top when I first started, but then I get into more branchy leaves and start to play around with those as well. Now, there are 2 full sheets of these leaf stickers as well as these smaller ones here. So there's 4 sheets in all. So there's 2 of the one you're seeing there on top now. And I've already used some of these stickers in a different spread, so I'm just using up what's left. And that way I still have a full sheet of these stickers for some other project that I'm sure I will find and to use, because like I said, I think they're really pretty and just perfect for fall. I'm getting close to finishing out the wreath now. Just 1 or 2 more should do it. I have them not overlapping, but getting pretty close to touching all the way around. Because they're clear stickers, I didn't want to overlap them because I didn't want you to see the layering of the stickers, if you know what I mean. So I'm just getting them real close to touching, but not quite. That way it has a nice clean look, but feels complete all the way around. Okay, so I think we've got a nice wreath circle here to get us started. And now I'm just going to go ahead and erase that pencil mark that I was using, and we will lay this down onto the cardstock. And because these are pretty close together and many are overlapping a little bit in the clear area, I think I can roll this off. So we will go ahead and do that. It's much easier at the start. Once you get to the middle, it gets a little bit hairy there, but overall pretty simple and not too hard to do. And I really love the look of this already. Having it there on the gold foiled shiplap style background I think is really gonna play nicely for fall, so I'm super excited about that. I'm gonna go ahead and actually cut out this entire wreath. It's gonna get pretty intricate here. I could have, left a nice border or what have you, but I really wanted it to look like it was die cut almost on the edges. So this part of the process I am going to speed up because it takes, a minute. It probably takes me 15 to 20, no, I would say it takes me like a half an hour to do the full thing. And that's just because I didn't want to have any white showing on the edges, and, it was like scissor work back and forth between that and my cutter. But, it was just very relaxing, and I just took my time with it. So as you can see, I'm speeding it up here, but basically I'm just cutting right up to the sticker edge so that I get a really nice die cut look. One of the things I was thinking about doing for this fall bucket list was an actual leaf shape as the design instead of this wreath style. Did a few variations of it, but I just didn't like it in the end. I don't know why. I just couldn't get a good shape that I felt like gave me the room I needed on the back and looked pleasing on the front. Just ended up looking a little too wide. But I bet you could do something pretty cute with like a nice wide maple leaf if you can make it work. And like I said, I just tried a few and I decided to do this instead, but I think you could get a really nice effect too with like a leaf shape or some other fall shape, maybe like an acorn. That might be a real doable one as well. It gives you a lot of solid space without the intricate cutting that I'm doing here. So just some extra ideas for you guys in case cutting is not your jam and you really don't want to go through the same process I went through here, but want something cute as well with a similar feel to what I have going on. And I will say I just really love having this kind of portable fall bucket list idea, just having it be able to move from my monthly to my next monthly, kind of setting on top of it, but not really blocking too much of the monthly so I can still enjoy the decor, and kind of fits in just with like a little seasonal extra. Also, I look at my monthly every day. It's really nice to have it in there so I can think about doing fall bucket list type stuff every time I open up my planner and do my morning routine. I tend to navigate through my planner with my top tabs. If you follow me and you know my planner setup a little bit, I really don't flip too much between the pages. I just go to where I have my pages marked to look at, and that's it. So if I had this in a different area, I wouldn't look at it as much, but having it there in the monthly really kind of brings it to my forefront every morning and works out perfectly for me. And we're getting close to wrapping things up here. A few things that I found helpful while I was cutting is using scissors most of the time, but if there was anything that was too narrow to really maneuver my scissors in, that's when I would break out my cutter and just try to cut in slices, trying not to get too intricate. That really worked better for me because my cutter is very small, which I love for cutting stickers on the page. It really saves me from cutting through the paper, but it's not great for cutting all the way through heavy stock. It's just more of a preference, but the scissors really worked well for me. And here I'm just trying to figure out where I'm going to be punching the holes on my wreath, because I do want to make sure it's kind of centered but not too close to any one edge. I also want those lines to be straight, so I'm going to try to figure out where the center mark is and make sure I'm cutting in the center of the wreath instead of off center, which I started to do just using that summer fun as a guide. So I've got the center mark. Let's go ahead and first cut it, and then we'll go from there and figure out where to put those holes. And now I'm going to, like I said, kind of use my previous one, but basically I want this wreath to fall in between the top and the bottom disc on my planner and not touch those. So I'll be aiming for, less than 7 inches, keeping that on the very top and the bottom so that they fit within the discs, and then kind of centering it off of that from there. Since I marked the center mark, I could have started with that hole and worked my way to either side. That would have worked, but I decided to kind of, again, use something I had already made and knew how it laid in and go from there. But if this is your first one, you can mark the center kind of like how I did, and then make your center hole first and move from there up and down. So I did have a little hiccup at the top. One of the leaves actually ended up punching off of the top, but I think it'll be fine because it'll be hidden by the discs. Also was using my We Are Memory Keepers disc power punch, which worked perfect for this project. My Happy Planner punch probably would not have been able to do it, so it's just better to have that other punch there, and it basically can do anything I need it to as far as punching through heavy materials. Even though you have to do one by one, it's a really easy process, and I really like that. And now I'm going to draw in the Fall Fun title here on the front. I'm just going to kind of freehand this brush lettering. I'm so out of practice now that I'm not using my face planner as much, so my thick, thin strokes could use a little work, but I made it happen, and I think it looks pretty cute. I decided to use that almost chestnut tan Tombow brush pen for that, and I think that was a good match. So on to the back, you guys. I've already kind of cut strips down of the fall bucket list items, and now I am going to cut out the ones that are particularly of interest to me and just start laying them there kind of haphazardly on the back to get an idea how this is going to flow. Trying to trim as much excess off of these as possible. I don't like to have a lot of extra clear sticker hanging around. I just like it to be nice and clean. It makes it a lot easier to maneuver in and around other things, which you'll see I'll be adding in. So there's quite a few for you guys to choose from in there. Hopefully it has something for everyone. You can really just customize your bucket list as you see fit. I also just printed these on some clear label paper. I will have that link down below in the description in case you want to use the same one I do. Really like this one. It's great for laser printers, and I think they have an inkjet version as well in case you have an inkjet. I like that it's repositionable and doesn't stick down too hard, making it easy for you to make adjustments if needed. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and start laying these in. I'm going to be pulling these small colorful boxes from a couple of Planning Thing books, both her Autumn Florals and Leaves book and then also her Pumpkin Vibes. I'm just kind of pulling the colors that I feel match well with the fall theme. I'll try to mix up the colors too so it's not too consistent as far as, all the browns together, yellows, that kind of thing. And I'll just start laying them in here on the back, trying to fit all of the ideas I have here for my bucket lists in and around each other. So I have a little space there for the actual bucket list item and its subsequent box. I'll be using the boxes to put in the date I complete the actual task. I think that really worked well with my last bucket list with the summer one. It was nice to see when I actually did the thing. So like I said, I'm just trying to pull in random box colors, just matching it up as best I can and trying to fit everything close together but not too close so I can get a good amount of items here on the back. I'm just flipping through looking for some more colorful boxes that I haven't already pulled and seeing what colors I have left. I'm going to switch this one out. Just feel like that will work a little bit better. And okay, we've got one side done. Let's go ahead and start on the other side. Once I figure out how many boxes I need, I'm going to go into the Pumpkin Vibes sticker book. Okay, we're going to go ahead and drop in the rest of these bucket list items I've pulled. I selected things that I thought were a good fit for me, things that were a little bit out of the ordinary, maybe something I wouldn't do on the regular. I didn't want to overwhelm myself either with things that I know would be really hard for me to accomplish, so I just picked the ones that I thought were a good mix of getting me out of my routine, but not so far as to be stressful trying to complete. I may pull in one or two more items here for the bottom just to finish it out. Try to look for things that I think I really would do. This one will be a good one, I think, to kind of finish this side of this spread. Okay, let's go ahead and do a little cleanup, and also I'm going to add in one more thing to this fall bucket list. I have a journaling sticker book from the Happy Planner that has some check boxes in it. They are in gold, which I thought played well with the gold foil on the front and just kind of brought a little bit of that foiling here onto the back. And basically, once I am done with that, you guys, we will be done, friends. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up down below. Also to go ahead and leave me a comment if you'd like to get in touch. And think about subscribing to my channel if you haven't already, if you'd like to see more of my videos. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And we'll see you next time. Bye!